Hello, Virgo. Welcome to guest. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video, oh, that jumped out. This video is going to be a monthly Terrascope for Virgo for 17. And there's really interesting. There's a lot of jumpers here. So I'm just going to put these out. There's a lot of intense stuff going on in this. A lot of intense energy. There is a lunar eclipse on the 7th that's in your 6th house of work and health, your day-to-day routines. And then there's a solar eclipse in Leo in your 12th house of dreams and the hidden self on August 21st. Which is an echo of the new moon in Leo that we had on July 23rd. So this is sort of the second wave of that, but this is the more intense wave. And it being in your 12th house, it's bringing up things regarding your dreams, things regarding your hidden self, things that are regarding the unconscious. So it's kind of like allowing or planting a seed for new dreams, allowing those new dreams to come up, or maybe even old seeded dreams, if you have an old rose bush and you take seeds from it and plant a new rose bush, it's kind of like that energy. It's sort of like old things that you're taking a new spin on or planting a new one. But it could have come from old dreams, but you're planting a new seed towards that. And it's your hidden self. It's not the self that you show to the public. The 12th house is about the subconscious, things that are under the surface, things that connect you to the divine. And new moon in Leo, because it is a solar eclipse, it's emphasizing our shadow self. It's emphasizing things that are not seen or not on the surface. So you'd be giving birth to a new self in your interior world, Virgo, and that will be developing over the course of the next 6 months. Also with that lunar eclipse in your 6th house, the lunar eclipse has to do with emotional energy. Here's another couple cards coming out. The lunar eclipse has to do with emotional energy. So that you have some feelings regarding your work, your day-to-day schedules that you are letting go of, because that's a full moon. It's sort of like saying this suit doesn't fit anymore, or this costume or this mask doesn't fit anymore. I'm not feeling it anymore regarding this routine, this schedule, this work. It could be like saying I don't feel the need to, if you've had frustrations about your work, you don't need to carry that around anymore. Maybe you're releasing that. Full moons happen when we're releasing something, when something has come to illumination and completion. So it's like saying, I'm ready to release something regarding the 6th house. 6th house is the house of service. It's the house of our day-to-day routines. It's work. It's can be regarding health or fitness. So there's something that you're letting go of in terms of that. And it's something that, emotionally, maybe you don't want to carry around anymore regarding your work or regarding how you feel about your health. For some of you, it may be letting go of old fears regarding health. I'm not sure how it's going to show up for you, Virgo, but 6th house, there's something you're releasing. And then there's something that you're giving birth to in your 12th house of the hidden self. Your unconscious, subconscious coming to the surface for planting and nurturing. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited for you releasing something on the mundane level, especially emotionally. Like I'm just getting frustration or confinement, even for your 6th house, feeling stuck or feeling frustrated with something. And then releasing that, I don't need to carry this around anymore emotionally. I don't feel like I want to feel that anymore. I'm going to throw that. It's like throwing away an old set of clothes that you realize, okay, I've worn through these. They're dingy. They're old. It's time to let that go. Instead, I'm giving birth to this new self that is kind of, just for me. It's hidden. It's just my own gift, my interior world, and it's about dreams. So it's kind of beautiful, Virgo. I'm liking that for you. Let's see what else is coming up. Ooh, Devil in reverse. Ace of Swords. Couple major arcanas here. Wow, a lot. Look, so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like half your cards, Virgo, are major arcana. So this is a month of intensity with all these eclipses going on. And, you know, we also have a Mercury retrograde in your sign in Virgo, which is the ruling sign of Mercury. And that's going to be going on for half of the month. It starts on August 13th and it lasts through September 5th. So it's kind of, it may feel like backward motion. What I'm going to say with this is, first, I'm kind of getting for you that sometimes you need to take 2 steps back or 1 step back to take a leap forward. You know, it's got that, I kind of feel like you're preparing to leap, to take a you know, a run backwards to leap forward. So understand, like, especially with that Mercury retrograde happening in the second half of this, just be really patient with yourself. Sometimes things feel like they're scrambled or they're going haywire, or you're thinking feel that way too. Or even just communication. Mercury rules communication, travel, contracts, thinking. It's the communication planet. It's the messenger planet. So if it feels like wires are getting crossed or things are getting scrambled, especially mid to the end of this, don't, you know, just be patient with yourself. There's no need for perfectionism during that time. And especially because that's where your hidden self is being birthed during that solar eclipse. I'm just going to say you might take the opportunity to just give yourself a pass. Just relax, just chill, just bring it back a little bit for the second half of this, because there's things going on. It's like going back to shoot forward. It's like when you pull back a bow to take aim, you're pulling the arrow in the opposite direction of where you want it to go because you want it to shoot forward. So sometimes pulling back can be really beneficial and it can allow you to go further. So that's the thing for you first, Virgo, is, you know, take a step back to take a leap forward. And especially towards the second half of the month, you're going to be busy planting new seeds for these new dreams, for this level of the unconscious to come up. Whatever you experienced during the new moon in Leo at the end of July 23rd, that was sort of the first wave. And this second wave is going to be the intense version of that. It's 21st. If you think of a wave building, if you felt that energy during that new moon in Leo at the end of July, this new moon in Leo, the solar eclipse, is 21st, is when that wave breaks. So allow yourself the time for things to build. And if it feels intense, just let it crest. You don't have to resist against it. Just go with the flow. And in other words, for the first week of this, a lot of major arcana cards here, half of them for you. So it's a real time of intensity, big themes. The first card is a card of hope. This is the star. I love this for you, Virgo. This, in many ways, too, it's almost the picture of the Virgin. You know, if you think of the woman, that's your symbol, Virgo. And typically, this card is associated with Aquarius. That's where the full moon is going to be happening, interestingly enough, for you, August 7th. So we've got the star and the moon. And one interesting thing, there's some similarities in these cards, as you can see. Real cards of balance. She's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the ground. This is a card of balancing left brain and right brain energies, allowing subconscious feelings to come up. Again, there's that theme of the subconscious coming up for you. And it's got the night sky. So it's a real time of kind of setting, you know, I'm getting with this, make a wish upon a star. Like, it's a real time of hope, but it's quiet, it's internal. It's not the sun energy, it's moon and nighttime quiet energy. So what this card is about, star, is about hope. And it's about you being radiant in a quiet way. It's about self-acceptance. Star doesn't get concerned about the trappings of the outer world. She's naked here. She doesn't have any titles or definitions or costumes, or she's not proving anything to the outside world. She's just who she is, just as she is, without any trappings of the outside world. And it's a real acknowledgement of her as herself in the placement of the world and having value just as she is, with everything stripped away. So she is participating in the world just as the star or the bird or the tree or the flower. It's just, it has its own inherent value and its own inherent beauty and worth, and she's radiating because she realizes that. So Virgo, this is your opportunity at the beginning of this to kind of radiate in your own natural, quiet way, recognizing your own worth and your own value just in who you are, without any trappings of the world, without any definitions. It's a real card of hope. It's a card of renewal. It's a card of, making a wish, and finding that balance, finding that connection with things. I always get this with this card. It's the feeling of after a storm comes, and you know how fresh and renewed it feels after the storm? That's what this card's about. So hope, renewal, having a quiet radiance through your own value and recognition of your inherent worth and place in the universe, just as who you are. No definitions, nothing, just your own being. It's a beautiful way to open the month, Virgo. And you've got the moon also shining on you. This is a card that's associated with Pisces, and it means things that are changeable. It's a very emotional card. It's allowing emotions to come up from the deep. And that's what this crawfish represents. It's the subconscious mind. Again, I'm getting that with your new moon in Leo. This is sort of a theme that's bookending the end of July through 21st for you, is allowing deep-seated emotions to come up to the surface for evaluation. And they're not coming up in the harsh light of the sun. They're coming up in the gentle light of the moon. So it may be a time to muse on things, like during your dream world or your dream life, like thinking about things and thinking about your emotions, like right before you go to bed, and allowing evaluation of those in a soft way, allowing them up for air, because that's what takes you forward. That's what this path is about, Virgo. And it's really sort of it's acknowledging the balance between your left brain and your right brain. The dog here represents our left brain self, so our rational, analytical, logical side. You're very comfortable with that, Virgo, because that's where you live. That's what you are about. And then there's also the right brain, which is more wild, more passionate. It's irrational. But there's a balance between those two, and it's allowing both of them to exist and identifying what is real, what is permanent, what is changeable, or what is impermanent. That's what Moon's about, because it fluctuates. So it's trying to identify what's true that is consistent, what's real, what's not real, what's illusion, what's delusion, what's reality, what is steadfast. So I just love this quiet, peaceful, reflective energy. And it's also for you at the beginning of this, and it's also kind of just an opportunity to recognize your own place in the world and what you really feel, Virgo. I'm really loving this for you. Also, at the beginning of the month of this, actually, before I go there, I want to just emphasize too, in 3 of these cards in the beginning of this for you, you've really got this balance between, look at in all 3 of these cards, there is depicted the earth and the water. And in both of these, 1 foot in water, 1 foot in earth. So I kind of get, Virgo, for you, you're an earth sign. You're comfortable on the earth. You're grounded. You're stable. You're reliable. I kind of get that you're dipping your toes into your emotional world, emotional life. That's what water represents. And doing so in a safe, gentle way. So I'm encouraging you to, just dip your toe in emotion. Allow that maybe subconscious, buried, what's been swimming under the surface to come up just for a breath of air, and just try it out in a gentle, quiet way. It's really beautiful energy for you, Virgo. But there's a nice balance between being grounded in the practical physical realm and then also in this emotional realm, one foot in each. It's a beautiful place of balance. And when you do that, you come to this place of peace, of bliss, of grace. This is the angel of peace, temperance. And it means finding moderation between those two. When you find moderation, there's two extremes here. This means finding the third path, the middle ground. It's a very it's a concept from Aristotle, like finding the middle ground, the middle way. And that's actually when a new thing comes about. If you balance these two things, it creates a third thing. So finding balance between our wild self and our analytical self, finding that middle ground really brings us a lot of peace, a lot of serenity. And so that's available to you this first week of this. I'm really just getting, get quiet, get reflective. It's wonderful. Allow that emotion to come up. You got the star and the moon there for you. Wonderful nighttime sky imagery. And being grounded between the earth and your emotional life. I'm also seeing Queen of Wands showing up. Traditionally, this is a fire sign. So that could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But it also could just be anyone who exemplifies the archetype of Queen of Wands. So this is someone who's got a sunny disposition. She's usually very optimistic. She's usually got a sense of humor, and she's witty. She just kind of like goes for things. She's a person of action. So they're showing up for you first week of this as well. I'm not necessarily reading this as you, Virgo. I'm reading this as someone else who is kind of on your side or a sense of support. This could be a mother, it could be a sister, it could be a friend, it could be just anyone who's showing up as Queen of Wands, like a cheerleader, essentially, is what I'm getting for you with Queen of Wands energy. This is someone who's like rooting you on, someone who's in your corner. Like if you were in a box, this would be your coach. So I'm kind of just seeing that even though they're a person of action and they're a person of fire energy and of the sun, that really you're more about moon energy. You're really more about quiet reflection and getting a sense of peace this first opening of this, Virgo. So really enjoy that. Just let yourself be who you are. I'm almost getting like Magdalene energy with this too, with that Beatles song, Let It Be. I'm kind of just getting that. Let it be. Let yourself be quiet, reflective, appreciating yourself, and letting your gentle radiance shine and finding real peace with that, Virgo. It's beautiful. And allow that person who's cheerleading for you to be in your corner. For the middle of the month, it's a little bit more struggle. There's a little bit more going on as far as tangling with things. And I'm going to encourage you to adopt an attitude of playfulness, adaptability, flexibility. This is Two of Coins, and this means adapting to changing circumstances. Going with the vicissitudes of life. The ship rides on the oceans here. It goes up, it goes down. And the reason Two of Coins is successful with that is because they're the juggler. They can adapt. If the balls are flying in the air, they're constantly adapting and changing to the changing circumstances. So this is a real card of fun. It's a card of being able to go with the flow, roll with the punches, like have fun with it. It's having a sense of humor, and it's saying, okay, yesterday was down, today's going to be up, or vice versa. It's really saying that things can go back and forth, and I can be okay with it. On the low side, Two of Coins can mean feeling stretched thin financially, like having to borrow from Peter to pay Paul, feeling like I'm just covering bases. And it can mean feeling off balance, feeling like, oh, I just can't keep all these balls in the air, like it's too much. But on the high side, it's saying, not only can I keep all these balls in the air, but watch me do it. I'm going to stand on one foot while I do it. This is fun. I'm entertaining everyone, and I'm entertaining myself too. So really, in the middle of the month, this is what's going to serve you. A sense of humor, a sense of adaptability, flexibility, taking things with a grain of salt is what I'm going to say. Rolling with it. Because some of this other energy is a little challenging. There's something that you're kind of worried over and fretting over. Virgo. And this is excess swords energy. Both of these are challenging cards. Nine of Swords means getting too caught up in your mind. It means, obviously there's a sense of insomnia here. There's a sense of overthinking things. Swords represent the air element. They represent thought, beliefs. And in this one, I sometimes call this making a mountain out of a molehill. You can see in the card that there's 3 swords that she's interacting with. There's 3 things that she's thinking about, but she's making it into 9. And she's keeping herself up. She's actually in her own bed, safe at home. There's nothing challenging her, but it's her own mind that's driving her crazy. So just not a warning, but just heads up that don't allow yourself to go in circles in your own mind. The mind is a wonderful, what's the cliche? The mind is a wonderful servant, but a horrible master. And I also point out in this card that here in the bottom of her bed depicted is a sword fighting scene, but there's only one person fighting it. And that's sort of like what's going on is that she's just fighting a battle in her head. It's overthinking things. So if you are thinking about things, if things are on your mind here in the middle of, realize that, maybe you have some legitimate concerns here, Virgo, but don't make 3 things into 9 things. Don't compound it exponentially. There is something that's going on where you feel like there's some injustice or someone's cutting corners, where someone is just having very me behavior, and doing things that are somewhat self-centered or unjust, and it's fretting you. But what I'm really getting is the more you spend time in your mind with this, Virgo, it's not going to serve you. This is like a colossal waste of time, is what I'm going to say. Thinking about this, splitting the hairs, going over the details. This could even be someone from your past. I'm not really sure who this is, Virgo. But I'm going to say don't overthink it, because it's only going to make you feel trapped. This is Devil in reverse, Virgo. And I'm kind of almost wondering if some of this is, this is a woman, this is a man, and there's a woman and man here, that this could be an old relationship that you are fretting over. I'm not sure. But Devil in reverse usually has to do with things that we feel confined in, things that we feel chained to, and that we can't release from. I always point out in this card that these chains are voluntary. These chains are loose enough where they can take the chains off. It's around their neck, but it's loose enough that they can take them off. And often devil refers to things that we have given ourselves over to that have been seductive. So this can be like addiction. This can be like gambling. This can be even just a false belief that we're believing in, and therefore is keeping us trapped, keeping us limited. So I'm going to say, Virgo, what can you release yourself from? Is there something from your past or something that's troubling you in the middle of this that is occupying your mind, and you feel confined by it? You feel like you're stuck? I think I'm going to say release yourself from your mind, from your own mind, is really going to help, because it's challenging everything that's going on in this first week of this beautiful self-acceptance, this beautiful allowing of this emotional energy to come up, this peace, this serenity, this somehow I feel like these thoughts are coming up, and they're making you feel trapped. They're making you feel chained. They're making you feel spread thin. This can also be joint finances. So it's making you feel stuck. And I'm going to say, Virgo, get out of your own head. Sometimes when we have an overabundance of air energy, which is the swords energy, what can help us is to go into any of the other elements. So connecting with earth energy, spending time in nature, grounding yourself, working in the garden, or water energy. Go back to this. Go back to the first week of August and realize, like, being grounded and allowing that heart emotional energy really is where you find balance. Sometimes fire energy can also help because it can melt the swords, taking action on something, releasing yourself. I think just even the realization that you are not actually trapped, it's only by choice. It feels like this is the person in charge. It feels like some other force is greater than us and it's keeping us stuck. But it's really just your belief that's keeping you there. You have the ability to take these chains off, Virgo, and be free. It's your belief that's keeping you stuck there. So your mind can be a little bit not a prison, but a place where it's more torturous than it needs to be. Don't torture yourself with overthinking something, Virgo. Adapt this feeling of fun, of humor, of flexibility. Don't get over serious in the middle of this. That's really going to help you. Laugh at it. Laugh at the absurdity of life if you can. Have a sense of humor. Realize that there's going to be changing circumstances. See if you can roll with that. And know that you're free. Change whatever belief you need to let go from this addiction, from this seduction, from this lie. You're free. You're free to go, is what I'll say in the middle of the month. Don't overanalyze it. Don't overthink it. Don't become a prisoner of your own mind. It's only going to drive you crazy. See if you can go back to this calmness, this peace at the beginning of this. End of this. The truth shows up. The truth is what sets you free. Okay, this is exactly what I'm going to say in response to this devil in reverse energy. These are exact opposites. In some ways, too, this guy is opposite to both temperance and Ace of Swords are very similar energies. It's balance, it's truth, it is peace. But especially following Devil in Reverse, Ace of Swords is the card of the truth. It's the single one thought. It's the single one truth, the belief. It's the Excalibur sword. It is truth with a capital T. It's clarity. So, it's like slaying the dragon. So I actually get that whatever you're tangling with in the middle of this, Virgo, you have a moment of revelation. And it could be during this new moon in Leo on the 21st. It's kind of in the position for that, where you're allowing this hidden self to emerge, this hidden new self. And you kind of slay those old dragons or whatever is coming up for you. Middle of this. This is the truth, and the truth does set you free. So get in alignment with the truth towards the end of this, whatever that means for you. Ace is also a new beginning. So I'm really getting that it's this birth of the new you, new dreams, 12th house stuff, the unconscious coming up and saying, oh yes, this is really it. This is really what I think. This is really what I know. That will release you from this. It's the sword that you need to slay this and be like, oh my God, that was all just a story that I bought into. That wasn't real. It didn't really have power over me. I just thought it did. And that's why I was freaking out. So because Ace of Swords is here next to Hangman, I'm going to say you need a new perspective in order to see the truth. These two are coming hand in hand. And these are both very strong cards. This is truth with a capital T, revelation, Excalibur, clarity. And this is enlightenment through getting a new perspective, doing a 180. He hangs upside down. And even though it looks like discomfort, he really finds a lot of comfort by leaning into it. And he actually gets enlightenment from accepting the circumstances and leaning into them. He watches the world pass by and gains insight from it because he's seeing things from a completely different perspective. So Hangman means not worrying about what everyone else thinks. Doing things your own unique way can look really different from how others are saying things need to be. This is the rebel. This is an Aquarian card. It's saying, I do things differently. It's okay. This is my truth. Both of these are in alignment with the truth. So, and there's great freedom in both of those and enlightenment. Finding comfort in the discomfort. So whatever's happening around this eclipse, I have a feeling it's going to impact you greatly. Virgo, you're kind of clearing out some old stuff by allowing yourself to just be as you are and have peace in the first part. It's going to give you the groundedness and preparedness and readiness to deal with whatever's coming up for you mid. And then you get this new clarity, this new vision, new enlightenment right around the solar eclipse. So that's kind of a nice story that's happening for you in this. And then at the end of the month, you've got these coins energy coming up. You got 9 of coins and 6 of coins, which is all about value. It's almost like you have saved up more than enough that you feel like you're in a good position. Both of these are sort of like the benevolent people who have made good decisions. 9 of coins has to do with someone who is disciplined and refined, and she has worked hard, and therefore she has an abundance saved up. She has put herself in a nice position, and that's you, Virgo, at the end of the month. Same with 6 of coins. He has put himself in a nice position so that he is able to be a benefactor to others. Now, this could be you giving the money, or this could be you receiving the money, depending upon who you identify with. Really, what 6 of coins is about is an even exchange. So it's about giving out and receiving. It's about being in that flow of things being equitable, things being fair, things being balanced. That's what this balance here is representing. It's an even exchange of like, I give out, I receive. So giving and receiving. And it means that both are necessary in order for that to be balanced. It's giving and receiving. And that's where this feeling of wholeness comes. That's where this feeling of integration comes. And you're in a nice place at the end of the month, Virgo. But especially if you fell off balance in the middle of the month, this is like, no, everything's harmonious, everything comes together. But because they're in reverse, there is some fear, doubt, or resistance to feeling like, okay, I do have things together. I do feel balanced. I do feel okay with a give and take. There's a little bit of fear, doubt, and resistance to that. So I'm just going to say whatever is clouding this, lean back into this, Virgo. Lean back into whatever revelations you came upon towards, right around that solar eclipse. Lean into the insights that you get from having a new perspective, having a different point of view, from leaning into the discomfort and finding out new insights, from having released whatever's going on here. That will help you turn this around and realize, no, I am in a good position. I do get to reap the benefits and the rewards of my own actions and discipline. I am in a good place of giving and receiving. I am in a good place of balance and order. You Virgos love that. So allow it. That's where you're at. Believe it is what I'll say. A lot of it has to do with your beliefs this month. So that's a reading for you, Virgo. This is going to be a little bit of an intense month because of all this eclipse energy, but I'm going to say just be really gentle with yourself. You've got a lot of beautiful, quiet, radiant energy, letting those soft buried emotions just come up, putting your toes in the water. That's going to set a nice tone for you. And you'll get through this, whatever's going on middle month. You'll come to some great insights by third, fourth week of this. So just be patient with yourself. Have a sense of fun. Have a sense of flexibility. Laugh a little bit about things. Roll with it. Go with the flow. All those cliches, but it's relevant here. So that's a reading for you, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Virgo who you think might enjoy that message. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can always do that on the website. I'll have a link up above. Or if you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to put those below. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.